Hey, this is Dan. Welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at the solo to the song When It's Love by Van Halen off the OU812 album. A couple notes here. We're in standard tuning, and I'm about 90% sure on this song Eddie used a Strat. So get out your single coils. Let's get started. So this solo begins with a slide up to the 10th fret, and we're going to go 10, 12, 10, 12, on the D and G string. So you're going to slide up with your index finger on the D string, and I'll play this section here. Now the next note is a ghost bend, and what I mean by that is that you're going to bend to pitch. It's actually a half step bend on the 12th fret of the G string. You're going to bend up a half step and then pick the note and come down. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, so we bend up a half step to this pitch. Bend down. And then we're going to go 10th fret on the G string, 12th fret on the D string, and then back up to the 12th fret on the G string and do a full step bend. So that whole part sounds like this. Now we get into the meat of the solo here, and you're going to stay in the same position as you come down from that bend. You're going to again bend a full step on the 12th fret G string and have your little finger on the 13th fret B string. So you're going to do this move. Okay, and at that point, you take your right hand and kind of muffle the strings. Okay, now we go up to the 15th fret, B string. Again, you're going to do one of these bends before you pick. So it's important to practice this and kind of get to know your string tension and how hard you have to bend to get from the 15th fret of the B string up to this pitch, 3 frets away, a minor third. So again, we start from the top of that bend. We come down and we bend back up to it, and then hit that pitch, that note 3 more times. Come out of the bend again, and then we come to the 13th fret of the B string and go back up to the 15th fret and do a full step bend. Okay, so again it sounds like this. Now we move back down to the 12th fret, 10th and 12th fret, G string, B string, E string. So you're going to bar your index finger on the B and E strings, 10th fret, as you take your ring finger or your middle finger, whichever is comfortable, and do a full step bend on the G string, and do this classic rock pentatonic sound here. I do this with alternate picking. And then we come up to the 12th fret E string for this half step bend. Okay. So you're doing this half step bend on the 12th fret, and then you're coming back, keeping this finger barred on the 10th fret E and B strings. You're going to hit the E string, then the B string. And then on the B string up to the 13th fret, you're going to do a full step bend from the C to the D note. Okay, so this section all at once sounds like this. After that, we have this section. Okay, so after you do that bend, you're going to come back down to the 10th fret of the B string and do a hammer-on and pull-off between the 10th and the 13th frets of the B string, like this. Okay, so after you do your hammer-on pull-off, then you're going to come back down to the 12th fret of the G string and go 12th fret G string, 10th fret B string, back and forth. And when you come back down to the G string, you're going to execute a full tone bend. And then come down to the 10th fret of the G string, back up to the 12th fret of the G string, another full step bend, and then hit the 10th fret of the B string, and then end the lick on the 8th fret of the B string. And kind of dig into that note a little bit and give it some vibrato. So again, it sounds like this slowly. Okay, now we move back up to this 15th fret area. Again, looking at these this 3 fret bend, this minor third bend. But the thing that's different is the second time around, we're going to start on the 13th fret of the B string, and you're going to pick 13th fret and then the 15th fret and do your bend instead of starting at the top of the bend. So it sounds like this. So you're just using these 2 fingers here, index finger and ring finger, and moving between the 13th and 15th frets and doing the same exact type of thing as the first time around. You're going to do the 3 fret bend, up and down. When you go back up to the top, you're going to pick it 3 times and come back down again. And then back and forth 13, 15. So again, it sounds like this. Okay, so this next section starts with a slide up to the 12th fret on the A string. I'll play the full section and then we'll break it down. Okay, so we start with this slide on the 12th up to the 12th fret of the A string. And so you're going to go 12th fret A string, 10th fret D string, 12th fret G string. And I pick them alternate picking down, up, down. I'll do it slowly. Okay, so when we get to that 12th fret of the G string, we're going to do a full step bend, back down, then to the 10th fret of the G string, like this. Then we're going to do 10th fret, 12th fret on the G string, and then up to the 13th fret of the B string. And when you get to that 13th fret of the B string, that is also a full step bend from the C to the D note. So up to this point, it sounds like this. Okay, so when you're at the top of that bend, then you have to move your index finger down to the 10th fret of the E string. And we're going to go 10th fret E string, 13th fret B string, 10th fret B string, 12th fret G string. So it's this type of a pattern. So again, it's this whole section is like this. So now at this point, we do this next lick that we cycle 2 times, like this. And you can start out by just doing this 3-note pattern on the B and E strings. 10th fret E string. And you can even just hammer the 13th fret and pull off to the 10th fret on the B string, just like this. Build up your speed on that, and then start adding in this 12th fret G note. Again, the whole thing is like this. Okay, so you're going to do that 2 times. So the way we come out of this lick after doing it 2 times, we go back to the 10th fret of the B string, back down to the 12th fret of the G string, back up to the 10th fret of the B string, and then we go back down to the 12th fret of the G string, but this time we do a bend, a full step bend, back down to the 10th fret of the G string, and then finish with a full step bend on the G string. Okay, it takes quite a bit of practice to try to get that up to speed and to get it clean. So that pretty much finishes the solo, but there's then this one little lick that he does when they return to that bridge part. You slide up to the on the D string here. I will play it. It goes like this. Okay, so really we're just sliding on the D string up to the 19th fret, and then we're going 17, 19 on the G string, 18, 20 on the B string, 17, 20 on the E string, and then this quick little move from 15 to 17 on the E string. A little bit of vibrato on that. All right, that pretty much finishes it out. So I hope you enjoyed watching this lesson, and like I said, some of the faster parts, break them down into as small as a section as you can, practice them extremely slowly, and just keep adding notes and adding speed to it. And eventually you'll be able to do it. So thanks for watching. If there's anything else you want to see, just let me know. Thanks again.